Greetings, it's Margaret Ann Lembo here again today. I'm so happy to share with you. You know, this new deck is really so much fun and we can learn so much together. So I'm Margaret Ann Lembo and I'm the creator of the deck, Masters, Mystics, Saints, and Gemstone Guardians Cards. It's just filled with so much fabulous information. And today, the reading of the day is going to be focused on the Native American spirituality foundation, the philosophies of Native Americans, and just a little aspect of it. You know, I wanted to include a little information regarding the Native American master teachers and beings of wisdom, because I had such a strong, and still have, such a strong connection with these teachings of the Hopi, the teachings of the ancestral Puebloans, the teachings of the Dineh, which are the Navajo, the teachings of the Lakota, and I was blessed to have experiences with medicine men and women and trained with them, as well as attended many ceremonies. So powerful, and so much to learn from them. So before we delve into that a little bit further, I want to share with you a little bit more about the deck. So if you don't already have your copy of the Masters, Mystics, Saints, and the Gemstone Guardians, I would love for you to grab yourself a copy because you're going to enjoy it. I know you will. It's a deck filled with 44 two-sided cards. On one side, you're going to find a gemstone, the divine question, like the question for contemplation, for contemplative thought. And then on that same side with the gemstone, you'll also have some divine guidance. Now, the words on the card, as well as the master, mystic, or saint, it vibrationally matches with that gemstone. And so then when you turn the card over, you're going to find positive thought forms, an affirmation, and an affirmation that matches the teachings of that particular master, mystic, or saint. You know, you can use it to pick a card, any card, every day, in any way, as often as you want, to get a message from the divine. You can use it if you're trying to use it as like an oracle, as some kind of clue or guidance to the future and how to maybe overcome a particular challenge or resolve some kind of an issue. Regardless, it's going to help you become a better person. So you might want to go ahead and get yourself a copy. So the first one I want to share is very personal to me. This is Spider Woman. This particular card is dedicated to Spider Woman and Spider Rock. I want to tell you a little story before we get into the actual card. So back in like 1990 or 91, I'm not sure of the exact date, when I first opened my store, the Crystal Garden, you know, my store is open since August of 88. So around 1991, I took a journey, I went on a vision quest, a women's vision quest to Canyon de Chelly. We meaning there was a number of us women, were guided there, and we went down the canyon wall of Canyon de Chelly in the shadows and the foothill of Spider Rock to do our vision quest. So we each had our own spot. We were far enough away from each other that we couldn't see or hear each other. Well, we could hear each other if we called out because it was a canyon, but we couldn't see each other. And we were in our own circle of rocks, river rocks, and we had to stay there in that circle of rocks, never moving outside of that circle, for it was 3 days and 2 nights. And I did have water to drink. It wasn't one that there was no water, but there was no food, and I was all by myself. Okay, let me set the stage. I'm a girl from New York City, originally from Brooklyn, and this was very foreign to me, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But it was one of the most memorable and extremely profound experiences of my life and really established another layer of a foundation for me with the work that I do today. In fact, behind me, you will see a medicine shield hanging from that wall right by the door. And that's the medicine shield that I created while I was on Vision Quest. Very powerful. Okay, now back to the card. So, I think I thought I was looking at you that whole time, but you were looking at that card. So let me do this again and say, right behind me, there's that shield. And now we'll go back to the card. Here we go. All right. So Black Moonstone is the one I chose because Spider Woman helps you delve into that part of yourself where you go inside yourself and know the truth. You know, the stories of Spider Woman that you can find in the Book of the Hopi are profound. They're good teachings. The Book of the Hopi itself is very, very good. I think it's authored by Frank Waters. And one of the reasons I really love that book is because there are so many teachings within the stories that are provided in the four worlds. And in the beginning, Spider-Woman is a supernatural creature, and she was the creatress of the rivers and the rocks and the trees and the birds and the bees and and so on. There's so much to that story, but the way she did it was through her thought forms. She thought, and then it created a wrinkle in time. And with that thought, she was able to shift reality and create reality because of what she thought. Now, that's the really short version of the teachings of Spider-Woman, very short version. But what I will say is that this is a message, the Black Moonstone, which has to do with the receptive vibration and receptive energy. It's to spiral into the center of your own consciousness, you know, and find what you know to be true instead of always looking outside yourself. So you may utilize something for contemplative thought to activate that vibration of contemplation, but then you would go within to know the truth and find the truth. So a nice affirmation for this particular card is, I maintain a regular meditation practice. I go within to reflect and find ideas, insights, and inspiration. I am conscious of repetitive thoughts, patterns, and focus on what I want in my life. My thoughts are in alignment with the reality I want to create. So I also, on this today, I wanted to do two teachings or two sharings about two masters that have to do with Native American teachings. And White Buffalo Calf Woman is a profound story teaching, a being that came to the planet to really bring the pipe to the people of the Lakota Sioux. And yes, I do have another story. I'll tell it short and sweet. But one time I was supporting a group, a very large group, that was on Vision Quest. And we were in Mexico, in the mountain in Mexico, next to avocado fields of groves and orchards of peaches. And there was a major settlement that was created with a very large teepee that could seat 200 people. And it was Spanish speaking group, and I am very much not a bilingual person by any stretch of the imagination, but I did have a little Spanish, and also I grew up listening to Italian, so I was going to do okay. When I got there, the blessing for the first year that I went to support this group, I was able to interact with Grandfather Wallace Black Elk. And Grandfather Wallace Black Elk, you may know the book Black Elk Speaks, because he's the leader, he was the leader of this particular group. They always did everything in English first to honor him, and then in Spanish, so I was saved by that. But I also got to sit in Sweat Lodge with Grandfather Wallace, Black Elk, as well as sharing a pipe ceremony with Grandfather. So I feel very blessed to have had that experience, and I very much connect with White Buffalo Calf Woman. So White Buffalo Calf Woman brings us the teaching and the reminder of prayer. As far as I'm concerned, it's very much about remembering the connection with Great Spirit, remembering the connection with all that is, and to increase the amount of time that you're utilizing praying. Amplify your prayers for yourself, for your friends, for people who you know are challenged in the moment, and with that, you will find great joy by utilizing time praying. Utilizing time praying and thinking good thoughts is not only good for the person or people that you're praying for, it's really good for you. And it's good for our planet. The more of us that pray and think good thoughts, however you pray, is very powerful. And it's been even studied scientifically, though in this moment I don't have the scientific information on the top of my head. But you may have heard of many studies that have been done. And so I'd like to encourage you. It brings you joy, and it really helps the person that you're sending good energy to. So with White Buffalo Calf Woman, you can remember to connect by this affirmation I'll use. Prayer is a regular part of my daily life. Well, I hope you got something out of this today. This is something that I love. I love to share my information. I love gemstones. Oh, yes, I wanted to say that, if you don't have this gemstone that's pictured on the actual card, it's okay. You can use the card as an option instead of having the gemstone. You can actually put that card in your purse, in your wallet. Well, maybe not your wallet, but it may be, whatever you're carrying to work for the day, and just lean it up against something to put it upright so that you can gaze at it from time to time throughout the day, and it will help you with being mindful and staying focused on what is good. When we focus on what we do want versus what we don't want, life is so much better. And there are also variations, like that last slide, which I'm going to go back to right now, is we have amethyst druzy. Well, because I am in the rock business, I actually sell gemstones for the last 28, well, actually close to 29 years now at my store, the Crystal Garden in Boynton Beach, Florida. I'm on the southeast coast of Florida in Palm Beach. And amethyst druzy is not a gemstone I can get all the time. It comes in spurts every so often, and then I can't get any. I think we have one in stock at the store, and it's a large cluster. And they're not inexpensive either. So you can substitute just another small piece of amethyst, an amethyst cluster, or a tumbled stone, if you wanted to carry a rock with you. All right, well, I encourage you to get your own deck. I'm Margaret Ann Lembo, and I want to thank you so much for being here with me, for watching this particular video. Thank you for letting me into your life. And I encourage you to visit my websites, to check out all my other books and decks and CDs. There's many, many, many. I even have an online book club if you want to join me on Facebook. Well, thanks so much for watching. This is Margaret Ann Lembo signing off for today. May your days be filled with blessings and love, and may the angels light your path. Thanks for watching.